Hello and welcome back to Can We Survive the Moon? And of course, we are doing pretty well here. And last we left off was messing around with our assembly auto crafting type system here. Not completed, obviously, but we got the necessaries like small steel tubes, interior plates, construction components, and steel plates in that case to constantly run. But now it's time to make somewhat of a ship to do some exploration. So let's get started. All right, so we are kind of established here where we have our main systems getting as much materials as possible and refining them as well. We should really get all the iron that's here and the nickel and things like that as well. But we should also collect from the other mining stations and start creating this little tiny ship that I'm kind of having an idea with. And likely we can make a ion thruster type vehicle or ship. That's something we need to take care of. What just happened to all my hydrogen? Okay, so my stockpile was still on, which is the problem, but luckily not the biggest problem. All right, I think we actually a little filled here, right? I feel heavy for some reason, so let's just get this thing back on here before we go gather the rest of those materials in the other mining stations. Okay, let's just empty this thing out if we can, if there is anything in there. Looks like there is. Yeah, looks like a ton of materials that I shoved in here for whatever reason, so let's just distribute all that out. All right, there we go. So we're off. So much lighter this time around. We'll go right into this is the platinum station. So we just go right here. Oop. That was a little bit too hard. But it's fine. We didn't break anything, it looks like. That's good. Okay, we're connected and we can jack everything that we can out of it. So it's still refining stone. Let's just grab the stone. We can refine it back at home. Oh, there's actually a lot of stone left, isn't there? Yes, there is. And there's a bunch of platinum, actually. I want to grab the platinum first. It would make more sense to do that. Maybe not be able to grab all the stone out of it, but we grab a good chunk of it and leave the rest in here, I think. Okay, so 12k of platinum is not too bad. And is the system still running? It might actually be still running. Yes, it is. That's not good. Just wasting power in a sense. So we should just bring this thing up and eventually move it while everything gets refined. All the cargo containers, they're not completely filled, so it's not too bad. We can still work on getting more soon to turn it back on, but we're not going to do that just yet. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking we put back all the stone that we just took, 154 stone, because we do not need it. We can let this refinery just refine it. And I'm just going to take the platinum. Why? Because we have another mining station here that might net us some gold anyway, so let's see if we can just get this gold. Okay, so what's in here? Oh, it just built up my whole system of stone, so that's great. That tells me that the drills had a ton of stone. Yes, it did, and it transferred over to my system for whatever reasons. All right, but we still have space, so we should be okay. So we'll grab all the iron, gold, and all the ingots and leave all the other stuff here if we can. It looks like we should be able to do so. Yep, that is looking pretty good. If we really wanted to, we'll just grab the rest of the stone. And I think we need to stop this one from mining as well, or at least bring it back up. I don't remember exactly when I turned these on, but it seems like it's been fairly recent since the large cargo containers are still pretty full. So we'll just let that slowly do its thing. And now our large cargo container is completely full. Looks like we got 134k of iron, which is great. Tons of unused gravel for now, but we got 10k worth of gold as well. So 12 and 10k worth of gold. So not the best haul when it comes to those resources. So I need to do some more digging, and very specific digging. Like we've tried to make things work with tethering a drill ship on it. Or some kind of some kind of turret controlled drilling system would work fine as well. So we got to plan for all that eventually, so we can get the pancakes of horrors. I really like that name of it. And hopefully we can collect a whole bunch more of those materials and resources. The amount we have now shouldn't be too bad anyways. Ooh, why do I keep hitting so hard in these? But luckily they don't break. Okay. So we're in. We're good to transport everything out. And just let it refine, basically. So more or less, it's probably going to refine a whole bunch of stone, yeah. There's one that's doing platinum, so that's good. We just need the other one to do gold. But yeah, that's fine. Other than that, we need to do, what is that called? The thruster components. I thought I queued up a few for this to work. Oh, we don't have any cobalt. That's the problem now. Shoot. Well, I thought we had thruster components, though, to be honest. Yeah, I really thought I queued up some. I guess I didn't. Or I did at one point and had to remove it because I was making metal grids instead. That looks like that may have been the case, which is pretty rough because getting cobalt is... it's doable. I just don't remember exactly where the cobalt hole was, to be honest. But it should be nearby, actually. Not here. But here. Here we go. So this is the cobalt hole, in which we need a better drill system to get the cobalt, obviously. Because me hand drilling and grabbing it, not the best idea, but still could work out okay. I do wish we had a closer connector. Well, actually, that's a fairly close connector as well. So we need to collect a decent chunk of this in order to make the thruster components for our ship. And the reason why I make a ship is to do some exploration around the area. Maybe we'll run into uranium or something like that. Who knows? And then you're probably going to question, why am I even going to bother making a ship? Because we have the hydrogen ship. As that's there. But that's more of my hauler for the time being. And I'm just going to build a smaller scout ship type of thing. Although it's probably and likely going to be a large grid ship, but a very tiny one that has at least 1 or 2 thrusters per direction, and then that way we can fly fairly easily with the just ion thrusters, actually. And we're not going to go with hydrogen this time around because we don't necessarily need it, but we do need some kind of power source. So we do need to kind of like make the battery, make sure it charges up fairly quickly. If not, we might have to throw in a hydrogen tank with a hydrogen engine just to get another source of power into the ship, which is not something I kind of want to do, but we should be okay with a few batteries and charge it, I think. We'll see, but I think ion thrusters work a lot better in conjunction with uranium, to be honest, because then it's just easier to recharge the ship and everything like that. So before we get going with producing all those thruster components and everything like that, let's just continue to grab all the cobalt that we can for the time being and make sure they get refined and get that going as soon as possible. Okay, looks like we have several refineries refining that, so we could try to make a good chunk of thruster components this way. Looks like we need to go. Nope, we got to go now, right? All right, we need a refinery for the gold. So where would that be? Oh no, it's refining now, so we should be okay. Yeah, platinum, gold, and cobalt is what is refining at this moment, and this is gonna take some while for it to gather because it's quite slow. But it looks like we might need a ton more cobalt. I'm not worried about it just yet. I'll worry about that later down the line. But the only problem is that I know it takes a lot for ion thrusters. So an ion thruster, yeah, so ion thrusters take 80 thruster components, a large grid version of it, which we just need one and we could fly within the gravity of the moon, which is great. So that's something we can look forward to. All right, so now the problem is we need to start building this system kind of outside for the time being. Okay, so we can plug it here for now and just bring it all the way up. That's just temporary. Okay, so I don't have exact plans for this, but it should be at the minimum 3 blocks high. So I'm hoping to build something out, something like this, if we can, where it's gonna mimic the kind of like the fighter cockpit type of system. Right over here in the front, I guess we could try something like that. Maybe, I don't know. It's just a thought process of trying to make something interesting, I guess. Although it might turn out not so interesting. But that's the front that I was thinking about. And potentially add some kind of wings to it and everything like that. But yeah, that's how it should hold up. Technically. And I think if I cut this open, it should still hold up. Okay, yeah, still works out. Okay, perfect. So now, that's kind of what I was thinking, and it could work. The only thing that doesn't work is that there's no viewpoints and everything like that here. So, can we turn this whole thing in the front into windows? Potentially. So if I cut this one out, for example, and throw in, I guess, some more windows, if anything. I need other types of windows. I think it's the 2x2 windows right here. Or 1x2 windows, I mean. And we need the ones like this. Sloped ones. So if we slope it this far out, we could probably get that to work. I think. I hope so, at least. I do also wish that I had some kind of port where I could utilize outside. Oh, I could use the ship. I've been using the ship anyways. But anyways, it would be like this, potentially. Just to get that kind of look to it, I guess. Inventory full. Here we go. So that will give us the window over there. But what's going to give us this view right over here? I'm pretty sure there is a window like this that can cover that up. I believe. Is there the long version of it? But that's not it. But I'm pretty sure there is one right here. I think this one. Yep, there we go. So we need to do this. And that way, we have it all windowed out that version of it. And then we need it on the... We don't need it on the bottom per se, I think. No, we don't. I'm going to need to do another scaffolding here just to hold it a little bit better. And we cut this out. So we can put this here. And on the bottom here would be these blocks here. Does that make sense? Yes. Does that cover it up pretty well? I hope so, in terms of being airtight and everything like that. What's here? How did I place that over there? Okay, so that should work out okay. So let's just kind of put the flooring down first. And here could also be windows too, right? So we have a decent view point right over here. So we cut this out, and I guess we do a 1x1 window if anything. I think 1x1 is more than enough for the time being, right? Do we need this to be a lot longer? Probably not. And then the top here, we just gotta do a slope. It would be a 1x1 slope like that. Yes. Yes, that should do it. And we need to cut this one out too. Okay. So I think this should work out decent. Yes, we'll do it that way. All right, so that's the front of it. Now, how far should the glass be to cover it up? And that's turning out to be almost like this, but not round, but more with edges, to be honest. Which is going to be a lot longer of a ship if we continue going that route. But we put a seat here, I think. If I put it here, I can see in all directions. But if I put it back here, same thing. I can see in all directions as well, which is great. All right, so we put the seat as far back as we can. Like so. Okay, so it's a little bit on the higher side than I kind of want it to be. Should it be lower? Probably not for now. How can we do this so it's not too big? That is looking a little bit bigger than I thought, to be honest. Maybe I shouldn't make it 3 high and make this flat. I don't know. But it does give me room to make it with other pieces too. I think we leave it as that. Yeah, we'll leave it as that. We just gotta find a point where we stop this. So how long is this ship going to be? Like this, potentially? I don't know. Would that make sense to make it that long? I mean, we still gotta add in the wings and everything like that too. Actually, you know what? I think we do that. And then we do this right over here. Is there a block that goes from this to that? I would hope so. Yep, right there. That has that transition to it. All right, that might work okay. Now it's kind of the top part of it too. So we leave it up to this section and then do the same thing right where we were. So meaning we would have to plop it in right over here to get that same design, I think. I think I got it in the wrong spot, but yeah, we got it in the wrong spot. Right, we'll put a block here to get rid of that. But yeah, so if we put it, is there a opposite of this blocks? Yes, there is. Okay, so here we go. So do we do it like that? How's that gonna look once we get in here? It's gonna be a little rough. Because once we get here, you can see everything, and then it gets closed in a little bit. So, that's not gonna be the greatest thing in the world, but it should work out okay. And then I kind of want to do either using this here and this here now, since we have that speck of it. And then back here will be kind of like this. Right? And then we just keep going out a little bit further so we can add in the thrusters and everything like that. So, not really turning out exactly what I was thinking. So, how can we make that work? I was thinking of doing something like this, wing-wise, or so, but it's turning out to be a little bit off from the original plan. And then we just throw in the thruster, ion thrusters here, but I don't think this is gonna work out, so I'm gonna scrap this idea. We actually need something even smaller than this, if anything. So if we get something small, why not? So basically, I mean, we don't even need a seat. We could just do a cockpit instead. I'm just gonna scrap this idea really quickly. I mean, we could just keep a platform. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just go with a cockpit instead. That would make a little more sense. Okay. So where will we put the cockpit now? I don't even know. So let's just take these blocks off. I'm going to use this for now. So cockpit. Not many choices for a cockpit. So you have the industrial or we have the original cockpit like this. The ports on the bottom and the ports on top when it comes to the industrial cockpit. Which is fine. Yeah, I really don't know how to design this exactly the way I was originally thinking about it. So that's gonna be a pain in the butt now. I mean, we could just do something as simple as a door in the back with a seat as we did before. I don't know. Yeah, maybe the seat will do a little bit better in this case. And we can design it out kind of like the thrashers that we've seen in other places, which is basically using kind of like a window wall like this as a protective view right there. It actually looks pretty decent that way. I can see outside okay. And you just kind of design it out from there basically. So that could be the front, and then we just kind of thin it out from there. That could work okay. We could do 2 blocks. Oh, we get that. We can use a hatch door in this case, or we can even use a narrow door in this in this case, to be honest. But I think we're just gonna go with a. We could do a hatch. I always forget that the hatch doesn't actually like to be done that way, so I think that should do it, right? Nope. Well, I guess we could. Nope. We need blocks here in order to make that work. Either top or bottom. Let's just do bottom. So this will be our door system. I guess we're just gonna work with a smaller version of it, or a very small model of it first, or build out of it. So it will look like that in a way. So we would have another layer up here, which is probably not gonna be blocks, but or full blocks. It'll be something smaller, and then we'll work from there. So I could technically still go with that same design I had before, but with these blocks instead, right? Kind of like that, right in front. It could work that way, and the only thing I wouldn't like about this is that I won't be able to see too much from there. Yeah, I won't be able to see too much from there unless they're windows. So I mean, we could put windows, right? But that also defeats the purpose of that. So get rid of this. And maybe we do this instead. And that way we don't get too much blocking us. We still get some things blocking us. Yeah, I'm not liking that at all, actually. So if we were to weld it up, we won't be able to see too much from the outer layer of this, will we? Nope. We will only see what's in front of us that way. So, I mean, it's good protection, but it would be nice to be able to see a little bit further. But either way, even without this and this, we still won't be able to see too much. Yeah, it's more of this block that's the problem. So we could figure something out for this block, then maybe it would be better. But it also doesn't add too much protection, if you think about it. And plus, but do we need the protection? That's another thing. What do we need protection from if this is just going to be somewhat of a scout ship? So, So would it be bad that we can only see what's just in front of us? I mean, we could always add cameras. That's not a big deal. All right, I think we're going to do it that way. Either we do it this way, or we said before with this bigger block for now, and do it this way. And then that means we're only going to be able to see ever so slightly with the front here. So even if I weld this up here, sitting there, yeah, that's all we can see, just straight ahead of us, which isn't bad. It's good protection. Do we need the protection? That's a different story. I don't know. So we'll just weld this up for now. We'll change that up later. I think we do the same thing down here. So let's just get some blocks to get this together really quickly. So underneath here and here, we do the same thing. So now we have somewhat of a fighter cockpit style there. Although it doesn't look that great though. Maybe it should be a little lower. So from here, I think from here on, it should be a little bit lower. I'm just gonna throw some steel plates in here for now. We'll grind it down later. Yeah, I think it's too bulky up top. So we may need to do half blocks from here. Why can't we put an armor block here? I don't understand that. Okay, that's interesting. Hope that's still attached to something. Alright, so we did that version of it. Oh, that's not even attached. That's why. Oh, okay. That came off when I took that off. That makes sense. Okay, so we put that there. That wouldn't look too bulky. I guess all of this would be like that, right? Should we do it that way for all of it? So it doesn't look too bulky? I mean, half blocks, again, not the most protected piece, but do we need the protection? I don't know. I would hope I don't run into anything where I need this protection. But I guess we can just do it this way for now, up front at least, and we'll exponentially grow the back of it. So that means we have to get rid of the seat temporarily. So then that way we can do a half block here. Maybe a half block here. Oh, this is where we probably have to exponentially grow it. Shoot. Now we are not connected. So that's great. Okay, we can still fix this with merge blocks. Like that. Worked out okay. All right, we're back in connection with it. I don't know what I'm doing right now. It's not actually seemingly being the best idea. This design up front is just not practical enough. I mean, it'll work okay. It's just very, very skinny up front now, which is a good thing, I guess, where we'll be lightweight and everything like that. So let's see. Like, put this on here. We do right here is where we said we're gonna actually exponentially grow it because we did put a what's it called there as well. But if we can keep it this size, even better. So I actually, you know what? I think we're just gonna have to get rid of shoot. I think we just need to get rid of this door. We should go for a different style door if anything. But let's see if we can get away with building most of this out of half blocks for whatever reasons. Door wise, I don't even know what to put. I mean, we could just do a regular door. Or we can even do these doors, if anything. These would probably be pretty cool to do these narrow doorways. I think narrow doorways would be interesting, and a half narrow doorway would be even better. If we could do the half the other way around, that would probably be best. But even doing it like this is not even a terrible idea. I mean, well, probably not there because you can't utilize those over there. So we probably have to utilize it on this side of things. So if I'm here, should I put some windows over here though? We could. What if we did that? What if we did these windows right here on the side, just for fun? And seemingly okay. I mean, we'll just do that. Let's just try it. Like, we're just experimenting here, actually. So, playing around with these narrow half blocks and everything like that. I mean, even if we did it like that. No, we can't do that. All right. So, too bad they don't have the inverted version of it. That would actually be pretty cool, but it's fine. And we definitely don't need 2 doorways for this ship, but might as well make it symmetrical in this case. So this door, it looks decent. Just, yep, that works for there. I mean, that'll work. I actually didn't realize that. How that is actually opposite from the other one, which is perfectly fine. Not liking the buttons too much, but should be okay. Okay, so that's kind of what I was going for. So then that means at the back here, we can close it up if we need to. So that is your basic setup right there. Potentially. And then of course we just gotta build around it. So how we're gonna do that, that's the thing. We need oxygen in here, we need tons of stuff. Do we need oxygen in here? Probably not. Would it be beneficial to have oxygen? Probably yes. So actually this should probably be extended out by 1 more. It's gonna be so long now, come to think of it. Should be fine. And here is where we put an oxygen tank, I think, right? Either oxygen tank or an O2H2 system. I think an oxygen tank would be more beneficial. O2H2 probably unnecessary at the moment. So we do that here. And then here, we'll just do a vent system so we can get the oxygen flowing in here. And we could use a full air vent or not. It doesn't really matter in this case, as long as it's airtight. So even a half air vent would be kind of okay. We just gotta cover up the sides. It'll look roomier with half block, so maybe we just go with the half block air vent. But the full air vent actually gives us more conveyor or ports. So let's just do the full one actually. So we'll just get this all going, and we're just gonna have to evolve this a little bit organically as we continue to build this out. Okay, so that's our oxygen right there. And that's basically our ship as it is for now. So we got oxygen. We need a connector. So that's another piece to the puzzle. Where do we put the connector? Whether it's on the bottom or in the back. Those are some choices. I would probably prefer to be down here. So actually this works out okay. Where it's actually coming from the air vent on. That should be decent. Although, should we put cargo containers and everything like that first too? It's another story of this thing. We should probably use a small... Yeah, I think we should utilize at least a small cargo container somewhere. That's where we go wrong. There's not a lot of space. We should put the cargo container underneath somewhere too. So maybe it is where the oxygen tank is, and the oxygen tank can stick out a little bit from here. Or maybe not. I don't know. This is the tricky part. I cut that down in a bit, but the next piece is basically building it out from here. So I'm just gonna build it out with some kind of scaffolding of it first. So I was thinking something like this. Technically. Yeah, something like that. In a way. And we'll just bring it out towards the front. Something like that. Yeah, something like that in terms of the wing spec of it. It kind of looks okay, but it's not going to be exactly like that because we need to find space for things. Actually, no, it shouldn't be that bad. We also got to figure out how much further back it's going to go. If I'm correct, it's this. And... okay, so that's what I wanted to do in a nutshell. But we still got to figure out all the cargos, where the thrusters are going to go, gyroscope. Still got a ton of stuff to put on here. So a small ship, a small large grid, it's going to basically be a pretty big ship, which is not exactly what I was going for. But it is what it is, I guess. It'll be still light enough, I would hope. Potentially. I don't see... well, we could do 2 iron thrusters on each side, which that would then make it a little bit better. So, let's see how this turns out. I mean, that's looking decent. We just gotta figure out how to do it towards the back end as well. And also leave room for things like thrusters and such. So we have it this way. I guess a gyroscope could kind of pop out from the back up here. Wouldn't be too bad. The oxygen tank, I still think we should add... I'll just let that drop. We should add at least one small cargo container. That would be a smart thing to do. Oxygen tank back here. And I'm somehow missing a ton of mats. Why? That makes no sense. Why? Unless I threw it back in here. I guess that could have been the reason. Then we have oxygen tank to the conveyor or cargo container to the air vent that way. That could work. All right, so the connector is another piece. I guess not the connect. Yeah, the connector. The connector needs to be somewhere, which could be here. It could be towards the back. I don't know yet. Let's just wait for that for a second. So now the gyroscope, if we are going to put a gyroscope, which I mean, obviously we will, because we need a gyroscope to be a little bit more controllable. It'll probably sit up here like this, potentially. So there's that. All right, so now the thrusters are where it's at. If we're doing thrusters two on each side, that means forward, backwards, and everything like that. We could do it like this, I think. I wanted to do a thruster out here like that, just to make it look pretty cool, and then we'll circle back around with it if we can. I don't even know, do we have enough mats to even do thrusters still? Don't know yet. We might be missing a lot of thruster components, but we'll see how that goes. We just map it out for now with steel plates. So we have a thruster right here. So that's our forward thrusting. All right, so of course we need like side thrusting and all that as well. So side thrusting, technically this doesn't necessarily have to be this bend here. That bend could technically be an iron thruster. So we can have it sticking out like that, if anything. Or we can stick it out over here. And this should be like a regular block or something like that. Technically, this could be anything. If we want to save space, this actually could be a battery. Should we do that? I feel like that might be a bad idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. So here's a battery as the connecting point there. And then, as we said before, we can add thrusters along the lines here. So if we want to throw it, actually we could throw it out like this. So 2 on each side, like that. And of course we're going to mimic the same thing on the opposite side. It makes sense for it to be a battery, but also it's a little dangerous to keep it as a battery, because if we do get shot, that's a weak spot. But we don't really plan for that to happen anytime soon, I hope. Alright, so that's 2 there. That's looking good. And then we will probably have to wing it on the side here as well. So we'll figure that out in a second. But we still need an up and down, which is more or less, you could do 2 going up this way and then 2 down this way, or from the wings end of it. So that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, we could technically just do this right here. 1, 2, and then from inside downwards that way. So we could do, I think we could do it this way. I would actually prefer it to be like this. 2 there. And then for our upward thrust, we probably need a little bit more for gravity purposes. We could throw it right under here, or we just stack it right next to it like this. I think we stack it next to it. Let's just try this first. We could probably do, I'm going to do 4 for upwards, only for gravity purposes. For the moon, gravity, so it's nothing too crazy. And then that should be it, basically. And then we'll just do kind of 2 more forward, or maybe more than that forward. So we'll figure that out in a second. But that's basically the ship and the shell of it. So we need to add, all right, I'm gonna add the batteries first, because we need to recharge this thing pretty much all the way. Okay, first battery's done. We're just gonna do recharge, because I want to get as much batteries on this thing as quickly as possible. And we'll go work on the second one as well. Actually, let me get rid of these. Alright, second battery's done, and we do the same thing. Let's just go and recharge it. Try to get as much power as we can out of it as quickly as possible. Now we need some steel plates to get finished designing the rest of this thing. Again, fairly simple ship is all we're going with right this moment. So within here, obviously we can put more batteries if we need to, but we're not going to do that, because it'll be great to kind of cover this up too. So we could go with regular blocks for now, like so. That could work. Yeah, not liking how it splits out like that, but it's fine. Whatever. We'll figure that out. All right, so from here, we do the same design like so. So here, we could have just left it blank or add more batteries right in the middle if we needed to. Here, what we can do is leave it like this, or potentially we do this. Let's just do that for now. Why not? Just gives it a little bit more definition. And then from here, I actually kind of want to make it more pointier towards the end here. So we could actually not even use a block there and just start from here, right? Yes and no, I guess. What would really end the block here good would be like a blast door type of thing. So it would be kind of like this. That would kind of match up to it, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. There's no other real blocks to kind of mimic that idea, is there? I don't think so. We could just leave it alone. We could do this instead. Yeah, we do that. Would that work okay? I guess it could. As I said, I just want to bring it a little bit inner when it comes to the tail end of it. So if we could just put in this here and this here, we should be good. Yeah, that could work. And we could do 3 going forward. Yeah, we could definitely do 3 going forward. So, or maybe even more, even 4 forward thrust. We don't need that much though, but would be nice, I guess. We could just tack on a whole bunch like this. Or like this. Either direction works okay. I think this direction is better. Like 1, 2, 1, 2, like that. Kind of design there. That's what I was kind of trying to do, but it actually not exact, but it's close. It's very close to what I was thinking of. We can even add the 5th one here. We don't need a 5th one though. So here, I guess we could do yeah, regular block here and a light would do fine. I have no gripe about that. Unless we do want to add that blast door piece, but the blast doors are pretty heavy because it uses a lot of steel plates. So even putting something like this, I mean, that'll look great, obviously. Yeah, that looks great, but I don't know. Should we do it that way? It's a bit tricky when it comes to that. Can we add a light right there? Yes, we can. Okay, so maybe we'll keep it like that. Yeah, we'll probably do that then. A lot of steel plates though, so it's gonna be tail end heavy if anything. But we could do some more connections over here as well if we need to. But I think this could work. This would definitely work okay. We'll finish off back here really quickly. And if we need to add more batteries, we can. I'm assuming we should probably add more batteries on this thing. I don't think 2 of these are enough. I mean, it could be, but it might not be. All right, so let's just weld up the steel plates first, and then we'll work on the thruster components. How many thruster components do we even have now? I hope we have a decent chunk. If we don't, then that's gonna be a problem. Where is our thruster components? I swore we didn't make them. Are they not called that for some reason? They're assembling, and it is called thruster components. So why do I not see them? Yeah, what is going on? Where are they going that it's not producing them? What is going on? Where are my thruster components? I queued up 2,000 and it made close to 1,000. Where did they all go? Do we have an assembler that's like disassembling them for some reason? So we're just kind of like cycling back and forth. I think this is where all our gold went. That's a problem. Because we made a lot of these superconductors for no real reason. But yeah, I'm not seeing... Let me get rid of this co-op mode for these. I'm not seeing where my thruster components... Oh, maybe it didn't make them. Don't tell me it made all the superconductors instead. I mean, that's fine, but we could just disassemble them, if anything. Okay, so I'm not sure what exactly happened to them all. I'm pretty sure that they are not built whatsoever. I think what happened was that shoot. I think, yeah, I really think that it made the superconductors instead. So then that way we didn't have enough cobalt to make these thruster components. Now we should have some, right? Yes. We're producing them. All right, so shoot. So it wasn't producing them, it was just distributing them to the other cooperative assemblers, which I thought we got rid of, but we did not. Perfect. So what we can do actually, let's find another one to queue up some more. And hopefully that would do. But superconductors, we don't really even have much, to be honest, looks like. So that's interesting. All right, we're gonna weld up the rest of the steel plates first, and then we'll see what we need from there. All right, I'm inclined to put a little bit more batteries on this thing, so we're probably gonna add it here, if anything. So we can do 1, 2. How many batteries do we need here? We have 4. Do we need 6? Probably not. Gonna do it anyways. And then the rest we can kind of cover up. So at least now, right here, can be a hidden gyroscope, though. So that could work. So now, again, everything is going to be on the tail heavy end of things. So that's a little unfortunate, but should be all right. And the last piece that we really need is probably going to be that connector. So the connector, we don't have the space for it back here anymore. We could have put it here. But that removes the space for the gyroscope. The hidden gyroscope, at least. So I guess we just plop it down as closest to the front as we can, I guess. That should be our best bet. I don't see why not. So I'm just going to do that. But if we do it that way, do we want to take this out and kind of do this to it instead? That might look a little bit better. Just a tiny bit. Okay, there we go. So now bring it that way, and we can just keep on the same design going that way with the bigger blocks here for now, because I have a bit of an idea. So we just do that, and we close the gap here. Kind of like that. There we go. So that's how it's going to connect and everything like that. And now we just got to really figure out how to close everything up from there. So here it's basically empty space. So we're just going to put in blocks for now. I mean, do we need any other blocks? I don't really think so. Yeah, I don't think we need any other blocks, to be honest. Do we? We have a gyroscope, we have our thrusters, we have a cockpit. What else do we need? I think that's it. So hopefully that's more than enough. We have 6 batteries, which I still think that's a little bit overkill, but why not? And yeah, I think that should be it. And we also have oxygen that we need to fill in here so we can travel a long distance. And this is pretty much good to go. We just gotta do the thruster components and batteries. And then figure out the design to cover everything up. I'm probably not gonna cover it up right this moment, but we can. So right here, I mean, we don't even need to cover it. We could just leave it exposed for now too, but we probably want to cover up like this, right? If anything, or maybe even just use plates or panels to cover it up. I actually don't want to cover it up. It actually looks pretty decent without it being covered up. So I don't know. We'll figure that out. But here we'll probably cover it up the same exact way from the bottom, except you're using the half block to the full block. Like so. The rest technically should be covered up. I mean, we could do little vent system type things like this, or even like this, just to cover up some spots if we need to, which wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, or we just leave it. I mean, it's not even that bad if we left it the way it is, because we don't need anything to go through as a conveyor. So technically, we shouldn't have built these batteries here then, if anything. But I guess let's just cover it up like this. Just for, I guess, technically added design, quote unquote. So we can have that batteries covered up, so it doesn't look like we actually have batteries there. So from there, we just gotta cover it up a little bit decently. That means we probably just need to grab all the thrusting components in here, and then we could probably weld up the ship. We have welders here. Perfect. So thruster components, power cells, that's all the stuff that we need on here or in here. Okay, so ship-wise, large cargo container. Actually, do we have large cargo container? Here, yeah, we gotta dump all this in the base if we can. We don't need all that. Alright, ship's empty. Large cargo container. Alright, so we needed power cells. We needed thruster components, which we probably don't have too much of. A decent amount, actually. Not that bad. Not that bad. That's not enough to make all those thrusters, obviously, but we'll figure that out in a second. What else do we need? Steel plates, construction components, large steel tubes. So we need the works. So steel plates, we're not going to add all 25, I don't think. Say 5k, all that, all that. Steel tubes we need. Oop, I don't need 2,000 worth. I'll throw in some metal grids just in case. Need a lot more motors. Construction components we need a little bit more of. Oop, not 11k worth. Computers we can use, I believe. Display maybe, I don't know. Small steel tubes. I'm just throwing whatever we can in here, to be honest. Some girders, I don't know. I don't think we need girders, but all right, that should be enough. Our thruster components, yeah, we don't have too much of it. We're still disassembling some superconductors, which is fine, but more or less, I think it's the lack of cobalts. All right, so we actually have more than we think in terms of thruster components here. So 377. Nope, there's some more. 446. All right, not too bad. Is that enough? Probably not. Unhook here, and of course we gotta be careful how we are welding this ship. Oop, we are pretty close here. All right, moment of truth in terms of kind of putting this together on the thrusters. Almost thought we didn't have enough. Didn't. You know, almost thought our thrusters were broken. I mean, our welders were broken, so it wasn't doing anything, but it just wasn't turned on. Okay, so that is done. This is actually looking like, was this a tachyon ship? I don't know. It was just in my head for some reason. I was just building it as I was going. So, I mean, it does look like some other ship. I'm pretty sure of it. But, yeah. Wasn't my intention to mimic it, but it was just a design stuck in my head. I mean, it is what it is. Alright, we are tilted a little bit in a weird way. Alright, there we go. Hopefully, we have enough. No, we don't. We don't have enough what? Thruster components. Great. Alright, I mean, we knew that coming in, so that's fine. I mean, we just wasted... Yeah, we built a good chunk of them anyway, so that's why we're out of it. But more or less, the power cells. Do we have enough power cells? We do have enough power cells, so we should be able to at least do the batteries here, but there we go. And we can get the parts into here. So basically just missing thruster components, if anything, within these ion thrusters. You know, I didn't even check, but I hope we were able to do the gyroscope as well. Let me see. Can I tell from here? Yeah, it's incomplete. So the gyroscope is right there. So let's just get that welded. Pretty sure I could have welded on top of the half block, but it's fine. There we go. I think that lines up to it. Are we out of parts for it? That's insane. What are we missing? Oh, we're just missing computers. I thought we had loaded in here a bunch of computers. What happened to that? Alright, so we did technically... Well, we got our computers, so we can utilize this here. And we got our gyroscope. Perfect. Back this thing up. Let's get our construction, not construction, thruster components. Okay, so where are my thruster components? Thruster. Alright, we don't have enough. Yeah, it looks like I have enough for one at the moment. Where is this? I can't just grab it for some reason. So none of this connected. Something broken on here. What am I missing now? Gold and platinum. We're still missing. Why? We disassembled all the gold. Alright, that's not good. Yeah, we're out of superconductors. We have no gold, apparently. That's not great. I mean, we have a little bit, but not enough. Huh. That's strange. Alright, so there's an industrial assembly plant number 4, which is one of these. I think... Yeah, it should be one of these, right? Or it's going to be one of these. Nope, this one. 2,000 computers here. Wow. Why is that all there? I have no idea. And we don't have this pipe in, so that makes kind of some sense in terms of why I can't extract it. So we just throw it on there. For now, did we cut the pipe here even at one point in time? Probably. It looks like we did. Alright, so we have nothing here connected. Yeah, this one's not connected to anything, and this one too. And this has stuff in here. I think I cut the pipe sometime a while back, it looks like. Alright, so other than that, I mean, yeah, we're out of gold and platinum. So we actually didn't have that much that we really thought. So, yikes. We still got a ton more thruster components to go. So it looks like we won't be doing an exploration anytime soon, which is unfortunate. Shoot. I'm actually not really liking this design too much as well. I think we need to get a little bit closer here, actually. I think we'll do that. We're not gonna be able to finish this build today. That's definitely not gonna happen. All right, so we'll throw in. I think we're going to do this. We'll throw in the thruster here. I'm just gonna transfer parts basically. And let's see here. So we do that. Now that's sticking out where I kind of didn't want it to stick out. But taking that apart is not going to be the greatest thing in the world because I'm going to lose the power cells. Okay, so we could do it that way, and we have to get rid of this, unfortunately. That's fine. We'll grab this one. Okay, so that is where the thrusters are going to be. Alright, so then... yeah, that may look a little bit better. And here, I think we utilize this piece here. We can cover the rest of this up with a half block. Something like that. Yeah, that looks a little bit better than what I had before. Just a tiny bit, not by much. That'll work. And again, we're missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ion thrusters. So that's 800 thruster components. So we need a lot more gold for this to really happen and work. So we're gonna actually have to go mining a bit, actually. Unfortunately, as well, to make this ship work out. So a little overzealous, once again, trying to make this ship, but it is fine. Not a big deal. We will figure it out. But the good news about this is that we are recharging our batteries. So that also works out too. So, I guess we could do some mining in the back end or off camera for a little bit. And we will also probably set some time up to kind of redesign, not redesign, but design the top half a bit as well, and the bottom half, so that we can hide a little bit more from there. But this is the scout ship that I was kind of having an idea about. This could be a little bit wider and closer, if anything, as well. I don't know. We'll figure that piece out later down the line. But this is the ship that I guess was stuck in my head. It is very Star Warsy. For sure. Alright, so definitely need to grab some more gold and platinum by mining. So it looks like we're gonna have to go back to digging really shortly. And it's more about digging the very specific ores from the sides. So we're likely not going to have to drill straight down and grab the gold. So this is the gold here. So we got to figure out something in terms of grabbing this a little bit better. So we have to, yeah, we're going to have to build out the drill system a little bit better where we can curve it and just grab everything as fast as possible and not get too much stone in this case in order to get this to work. Or at least get this going so we can get our exploration ship up and running sooner than later. Yeah, I actually thought we may have had enough to get that going, but it looks like we didn't. So that really stinks. Alright, so it looks like yeah, we gotta do some digging soon for the gold and platinum so we can get enough thruster components. And then we can get this thing going and flying somewhere. I don't know where yet. We'll figure that out soon. But at least we got the design of it a little bit. I mean, it looks okay. Still not the best thing in the world. But yeah, that is an interesting design, more or less. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment down below, even to just say hi. And of course, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.